Hello, this is Ramakrishna from Villa 735 Adarsh Palm Retreat, Bangalore, India. This is our traditional Bommala Koluvu in the year 2018. As you can see just behind me, we have this year 7 steps of our Bommala Koluvu, and on the left hand side we have various scenes from the Krishna Avatara, and on the right hand side there are various scenes from the Rama Avatara. In particular, I would like to show you a scene from the war where Kumbhakarna is being woken up in between the battle, and this is a very beautifully picturized scene where there are elephants, there are men blowing trumpets to awaken him. This is a special set that we have added on in the current year. In the Krishna Avatara, there is a particularly beautiful scene which is from the very popular movie called Maya Bazar, where Ghatotkacha, the son of Bhima, is partaking of a very hearty meal. These are the two additions that we wanted to particularly highlight to you. Every year we have a theme for the Bommala Koluvu, and our theme for this year is the Panchatatva Shiva which are associated with the 5 elements. On my left you have the first, which is the Shivlinga associated with Agni, which is in Tiruvannamalai. As the legend goes, Lord Shiva was once playfully having his eyes closed by Parvati, and the entire world was plunged into darkness. Parvati and all the gods then descended to the earth and prayed to Lord Shiva, and he appeared on the earth in the form of a Lingodbhavam, as you can see here, on top of the holy hill Arunachala, adjacent to the temple. This is where he is worshipped as Arunachaleswara, and this place is called as Tiruvannamalai, which is in Tamil Nadu. The second is Ekambareshwara, which is associated with earth. This is in Kanchipuram. There you can see Lord Shiva, who once sent Parvati to the earth, saying that she would become black complexioned like goddess Kali. So she went to Kanchipuram and started to pray under a mango tree, and he tested her in various methods, and she also created a shivling made of mud, which you can see here. And the Vegavati river came into full spate and threatened to completely destroy the shivling. Parvati embraced the shivling. Very pleased with this, Lord Shiva appeared in front of her and married her. He is known as Ekambareshwara, and Parvati here is known as Kamakshi. So this is the second of the 5 shivlings. The third is in the holy place of Chidambaram, which is associated with the sky. Here once Lord Shiva and Parvati were strolling along in the forest, in the Tillai forest, when they encountered a group of sages and their wives. These sages believed that the gods could be controlled by mantras and rituals. In order to test them, Shiva and Parvati appeared as mendicants in front of them. Shiva's form was so enchanting, even in this form, that the sages' wives were very enchanted by him. Seeing this, the sages were very enraged and sent wild animals to kill Shiva, and he tore the wild animals to pieces. And subsequently, with their spiritual powers, the mendicants created a demon called Mulavan. Then Lord Shiva assumed this form, which is a very famous form known as Nataraja, and he killed the demon Mulavan and performed the Ananda Tandavam. It is also reputed in this temple that there is a space which is just adjacent to the main deities, that in this space, in this divine space, you actually have Lord Shiva and Parvati there performing the Ananda Tandavam. Their presence is invisible to the naked eye, and you can only make out their presence by the golden bilva leaves. It's also said that this is symbolically like the drawing aside of the veil of ignorance and entering into the divine presence. This is the third of the Shivlings, which is in Chidambaram. Now we move on to the fourth, which is in Srikalahasti, which is associated with Vayu. It derives its name from Sri, which is the spider, Kala, which is the snake, and Hasti, which is the elephant. Sri Kalahasti is associated with Vayu. Vayudeva had once sought three boons from Lord Shiva. One, that he should be present everywhere. Second, that he should be the source of all life. And third, that this temple should be named after him. And the god had then granted him all the three boons, and that's how this temple is associated with Vayu. It's also very famous for the legend of Kannappa, whom you can see here. And Kannappa was tested by Lord Shiva when Kannappa saw that one day when he came to pray to Lord Shiva, that Lord Shiva's eye, one of his eyes was bleeding, and without any hesitation he plucked his own eye and covered Lord Shiva's eye with his eye. The second eye then started bleeding. Without any hesitation, once again Kannappa then covered that eye with his big toe, plucked out his second eye and then placed it there. Very pleased with his devotion, Lord Shiva restored both his eyes and said that henceforth he would be called as Kannappa Nayanar, one of the 63 famous saints of Lord Shiva. This is the fourth of the five Shivlings associated with the five elements. Now to my right is the last, which is in Thiruvannaikaval near Trichy, which is associated with water. Once Parvati was mocking Shiva to say that all the time he's actually in prayer and doing little else, and Shiva then sent her down to the earth, where she actually created a Shivling, which you can see here, blue in color, out of water, and prayed to Lord Shiva, who was pleased with her penance, and then he appeared in front of her. The nature of the relationship between Shiva and Parvati here is one of a guru and shishya and not of a husband and wife, and that's why generally marriages are not performed in this temple. It's also very typical that the Brahmin who performs the puja in this temple dresses up like a woman, which you can see depicted here. This temple is also famous for a spider called Malyavan and an elephant called Panchadanta, who were also devotees of Shiva, who were sent to the earth by Lord Shiva, and they were constantly fighting with each other, and the spider wove a web about to protect the Shivling from the dust, while the elephant would pour water over the Shivling. And seeing the web, the elephant actually tore the web aside, thinking it was dust. In anger, the spider entered into the trunk of the elephant and bit it to death. In the process, the spider also died. The Lord then restored both of them back to life, and the spider, in order to expiate for the sin of having killed an elephant, was born once again on the earth as the Chola king. And in order to take revenge, it actually constructed the entrance to this temple of just 4 feet height, so that it would be very difficult for any elephant to enter inside into the sanctum sanctorum. So this is the fifth of the 5 Shivlings. So this is our theme for this year. I hope you enjoyed listening to this as much as we enjoyed putting it together. Thank you very much.